Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you're having just a wonderful day, period. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I have a really fun project to share with you. We are mass producing, and we are using some beautiful elements from 49th and Market. This is part of their Echoes in Time collection. I have two items here. My project today I've been wanting to do for a very long time. A while back I had created a mass producing blog post for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I'll leave that link down below, or maybe even up here if you guys want to click on that and check it out. But if I remember up here, sometimes I forget. When I point up here, I forget to put that link. But definitely down the bottom of the description area will be that blog post video. I created some Christmas cards using the same elements, the pattern papers, and then some laser cut elements. And I love the way they turned out. It was mass producing was so easy. And well, let me show you the cards, a few cards that I made. Okay. Well, let me move this out of the way. These are some of the cards that I made for that blog post. And you would think that they were very hard to make, but you would think that these aren't really mass-produced cards. But they were so easy to create. I created, I think, a dozen of these. And so I thought we would do the same thing, but instead of creating Christmas cards, we're going to create some floral cards. The only thing that we're doing different is on these, 49th and Market had the greetings, okay, and like a ephemera pack. We're not using those today. I'll probably bring in a die set and maybe some sentiment strips, and then also the card bases. 49th and Market for this collection had card bases or envelopes that coordinated with the card bases, and I used those too. I'm not going to use those today. I'm just going to use white card bases. Okay, these were super fun, and I thought we would do them with something that wasn't Christmas. Now, laser cuts are so amazing. This is what they look like. Let me show you. And if you guys haven't tried them, I think you will love them. They are like elevated die cuts. And what I mean by that is these are all sheets. You can see the back. This is what the back looks like. Okay, and they're pretty large sheets. Okay, look how pretty these are. And then you have, I love my frames. This is just like a bonus cover sheet, but you can use the reverse side. Okay, this is the front of the package. But basically you get 4 sheets. I say 4 because there's a perforated edge here. These can actually separate. Okay, but I want to show you how beautiful these are. Let's look at the butterfly. You would think they're harder to pop out, but they're not. They just you give it a little push and they pop out. But the detail in here is just amazing. There's a purple hue to it, and I thought maybe we would bring in some pale purple cardstock, but look how gorgeous. You see the detail? Let me see. Right here, that's not white cardstock. That's actually die cut. So watch. And that's what I love about it. You could actually, but the detail in these are just gorgeous. And look, they're layering elements too. I just realized this too. But this little piece, when you punch out, and I say punch out, but it just pops out. And the detail in here, there's a hole in here. Okay, so it's not white behind it. And if you wanted to, let's just do that. I'll bring in a small foam spare. I didn't know this did this. So this is a surprise for me today. But oh gosh, look how pretty, 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 pretty. This is just gorgeous. The detail in these are just amazing. Look at this flourish. You want to be really delicate when you pop these out. But they come out, I say delicate, but it's very easy. But look how pretty this one is. When I popped this one out, I lost the leaf. So just be real careful. Okay, you see that leaf? But look at the detail. These are going to look gorgeous on your cards. Look at the detail. Let me get some darker cardstock. Okay, you see how little, how gorgeous these die cut out, so pretty. You guys, these are so pretty, and they're really not too expensive. I'll leave a link down below, but I want to show you another one because they just keep getting more gorgeous and more gorgeous. And again, kind of want to be a little, I was a little hasty when I punched this one out, and when I lost that little leaf. But look at this one. Look how gorgeous. This is the back side. These are going to make quick and easy cards that you're just going to fall in love with. Like, this is the main focal point right here. So easy. So, and it looks like some of these florals layer on top of each other. Let me find one. Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Yes, look at this one here. If you punch this one out, it does layer right on top. How gorgeous. So you can add dimension. I didn't know that. The last set that I did with the Christmas cards didn't do that. So you're in for a treat today because I'm so excited. You're going to love this. You may want to stop the video right now and go pick up one of these laser cut sheets, okay? And the paper pad that goes with it. This is the Echoes in Time paper pad. I'm calling it a paper pad, but it's a paper pack. And when I'm pre-recording this because I'm having a Thanksgiving holiday, and my husband is out in the garage, and the alarms are going off, so sorry if you hear those. Okay, he's working out there in the garage. He's actually changing the my brake pads. So there's a lot of commotion. Okay, so look at how pretty these papers are. So the patterns in here are just gorgeous. Kind of, look at this. Kind of follow. Some of them are on the mixed media side, but when you flip them over, they are gorgeous. Look how pretty. That's a stunner in itself. It's a little too big for my card projects today, but I think I have them upside down. You have a little stopwatch. Beautiful. But you have that little textured. So I'm so excited. We're going to make some stunning cards. Now, I mentioned mass producing. So what we're going to do first is punch out our elements. Okay, I like to punch them all out first. Now I went ahead and did my punching with my laser cuts. Okay, I want to mention a few things. Okay, first off, I kind of group them. Okay, so I have a group of the florals. I have a group of the flower buds. There's a few berries in there too. Okay, so I have this group. I have a group of the ivy up here. I have a group of leaves. I have a group of, these are little gears that were in there. I have just a small grouping of this. I have a grouping of single flowers, and then I have a grouping of butterflies. Okay, grouping is just going to help us when we arrange these. Okay, that's number one. So I have 7 groupings. Number 2, I want to mention that these are very, very delicate. More delicate than the Christmas ones that I did for Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine. Very delicate. In fact, when I punched them out, I did lose some leaves. I lost some florals, and it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, don't get upset if you lose a leaf. Like when I punched this out, you can see I left the leaf here. That's not a big deal. You know why? Because these are so beautiful and intricate. You can't even tell that I did not punch out that leaf or it broke off. I promise. I have all these little extra leaves too. You can actually reuse them if you want. I'm not going to do that today, but I lost a few. Okay, so that's just, for me, that's going to be normal. Okay, but they are very delicate. Okay, another thing I want to mention is I didn't punch out all of them. I have some left. I have some leaves, some of the gears. This is the extra long ivy piece. I didn't punch that out because it was too long for my A2 card. But you can see I have a lot of florals and butterflies and gears still left, which is okay. I want to mention too something really fun, and we're not going to do it today, but you see this little piece? These actually look like the eyes to the butterfly right here and here. So you could actually do a little layering with those on our butterflies if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that today, but I want to mention that. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to mention. Now, what we're going to do is keep our groupings together, and I'm going to take my single flowers and group them, and we're going to do a little extra layering on all of our floral elements. I counted the floral elements, and there's 13 in total. So you want to punch out the 13. We're going to make 12 cards today, so 13 worked out perfect. What we're going to do with these little extra pieces, some of them match the flowers on here to a T. Some of them don't match completely, but the colors match. What I'm going to do is just do a little layering, because you know I like layering. I'm just going to put a foam square behind one of the flowers that kind of look like it's going to match. Like this one doesn't match this flower, but I think I can get away with it. We're just going to layer that on there. We have this little flower here. Okay, I am wrapping it up, and as I'm doing this, I do want to say that I'm putting flowers again that don't match on over existing ones. Like that one definitely didn't match that. I'm just making sure that all of my elements have a layering piece to them. And it's really easy to do. Maybe 2 of them. So I have all my little clusters, 13 in total, and let me show you. I just popped a couple on the existing. A lot of them don't match. Like this one has a stem on it. Let me see. This one, well, let me just pop it off for you. Oh, well, that's not a good idea. But I wanted to show you that the flowers aren't matching. They're not matching up. I kind of tore it, but see, this is just the flower with the stem. This is the flower with the stem. It's not matching, and that's okay. That's the great thing, is they don't have to match, and they still look good. I tore my paper, so I'm just going to glue this back down. Okay. So at least, let's turn it this way a little bit. Okay. So so all of these little clusters have at least 1 or 2 of a layering element to it. Okay. Mix and match too. Like, let me show you. This one, this little cluster, I added this flower. This flower wasn't underneath there. I just added it. And then this one has a stem too. So just layer it until you think it looks pretty. Now is the fun part. All we're going to do, I have card bases. Okay, I'm going to use these as my platforms, okay, for mass producing. Now I'm going to take 1 cluster and I'm going to add some accessories. This is the great part. You can mix and match. For this one, I'm going to add a butterfly, and then I'm going to add a couple gears to this one. That's all I'm doing to this one, okay? My next one, we're just going to grab a cluster. This one has a berry branch or a flower bud branch. I'm going to bring in another one. And definitely want to put a couple little butterflies on here. So dupe, and then I'm going to add a couple extra leaves to this one. That's all there is to that. And then we're just going to continue. For this one, I definitely need more greenery, so I'm going to add in a couple extra leaves. And for this one, I'm going to bring in a piece of the ivy. I think the ivy will go really good with this one. Okay, and of course, I think all of my cards, and then I'll add a butterfly too. this worked out great. Now with this last floral, we have this one. I have these two little, these aren't roses, they're flowers that we're going to add. And then we're going to add, let's just add the rest of the flower buds without breaking them. Okay, and then we have the leaves. I'm just going to add the rest of the leaves here. All of these leaves are singles that we're just going to add. And that's that one. So each of these cards have a floral element, some leaves, maybe a butterfly. Actually, we have a little butterfly for this one too. We're going to put these to the side. It worked out great. And let me tell you, you want to add anything that's left over from your laser cuts to these elements, go for it. That way there's no waste and there's plenty of room on your card to add these little extra elements. Now we're going to create some background panels. Okay, so there's 3 of each in our pattern papers. It's nice heavyweight too, I have to say. And don't toss out this piece. This is like a bonus piece, okay, of pattern paper on the reverse side of your pattern paper pack cover. So I have 3 of the pinkish purplish. I have 3 taupe, 3 of the darker gray, and then I also have 3 of this piece of pattern paper. Okay, I love the softness of this. This is the reverse side. Okay, what we're going to do is trim them down to A2 panels. I'm actually going to do 2 at a time. Now we have 12 A2 panels. Okay, put these to the side, and we're not done with our pattern paper. Our next step, we're going to be using these pattern papers, and we're going to trim these down to 4" by 5 1/4 panels. I have these 3 here, so we have 3, and I'm going to do the same thing to this. So we have 6 of these panels in total. Now with these 2 panels, I decided to reroute. What we're going to do is take these 3, trim them down to, actually we'll do 2 at a time. We're going to actually trim these down to 3 3/4, okay, by 5. By 5. We're taking a 1/4 inch strip off, okay? So now we have 6 panels that are 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, put these to the side. Our stripe papers, we're going to trim these down into 2" tall strips. Okay, and then I'm going to go 4 1/4. Now I only did 3 of these. Okay, and then we're going to go through our scrap papers. Let me see. On the reverse side of our gray pattern paper, there are these really pretty borders that have the clock on here. And I thought we would trim these down too. So we need 3 panels the same size as this, which is 2" by 4 1/4. Now my stopwatch is kind of an odd place. So on this side of my pattern paper, I trimmed 1" off. Okay, and then I'm going to put them back in here, and then I'll trim it to 4 1/4. There we go. So the clock is a little bit more towards the left. So we have 3 of these. So you're going to need, so we have 6 in total, 2" by 4 1/4 inch strips. We're going to put that with the rest of these here. Now we're almost done with our pattern paper. We're going to go through our scraps again. Now we're almost done with our pattern papers. When we trimmed out our A2 panels, these are the strips that were left over. Okay, we're going to use these. So we're going to put these to the side. Now we're going to do a quick recap. Okay, we have 12 A2 panels of almost solid prints. Okay, in these pattern papers. Okay, we have the 3 3/4 inch panels by 5 inches here. We have 6 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these. We have 6 of these 2 panels. These measures 2 inches tall by 4 1/4 inches wide. Okay, and then we have some 1/2" strips, 12 1/2" strips, and these are the strips that are the same colors as these, but they don't have to be. They can be actually be any pattern that you want. Okay, and so this is all of our pattern papers. Okay, we're going to put these to the side. These are 3 8.5 by 11 sheets of vellum. Okay, we're going to bring in some vellum to this mix. I'm going to trim all 3 of them at once. It makes it easy. I'm going to trim this down to a 3-inch, flip it, and then I'm going to trim it 4 1/4. Okay, so that will give me 6 of these. Now I'm bringing in my circle dies. Okay, this, let me tell you the measurements. This happens to be 3 1/4 inches. I'm gonna run this through my die cut machine. Actually, we can trim it. Let me trim this down here. Okay, so we have 3 sheets of vellum stacked together, and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine twice. So it's going to give me 6 of these circles. I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Now we're going to add a little texture to these. Now you can do this several ways. Okay, you can use an embossing folder. Spellbinders has an embossing folder called the corrugated embossing folder. You could use that. You could use a you could use a scoreboard to do what I'm going to do. I happen to have a crimper, a paper crimper. This one is from Marvy. Okay, and I can do several. I'm going to do 3 pieces of vellum at a time. Okay, and all I'm going to do is set it in here, and then I'm going to crimp. Okay, it just makes it fast and easy, and I have texture on my vellum. Any kind of striped embossing folder you have would work. I'll link this, and I love this crimper. I just love the way it adds texture. Okay, and just so my stripes are even, I'm going to stack these. Crimpers come in really handy. So we have some nice little stripes on our vellum. So now we have texture on our vellum. These are all good. For my greetings today, we're going to use sentiment strips. Simon Says Stamp has some fabulous sentiment strips that are great for all occasions. Get well, hello. I haven't even opened these ones up yet, but you just trim them. They also have easy strips that you can use the coordinating die. They have a stamp set that you can use. Wildflower has some sentiment strips too. These are called Subsentiments, and they're meant to go with the larger die cut, but there are some elements in here like I love you that you can add, and these you don't have to cut, you just punch out. You can see here they just punch out, but some of these are not full sentiments. For example, it says to say thank you, you know, so, but they do have just a note that you could use. So these are not full sentiment strips, but this one, like the thanks would be really great. Huge thanks so much, and all you would do is just punch these out, which makes them really nice. I think maybe this is what we'll use. We'll make a whole bunch of thank you cards. So this is the Wildflower thanks. So the price point on here is great. And again, this one was the Subsentiments thanks die cuts, and it doesn't require cutting or anything. Okay, I'll link this one down below. Wildflower has lots of them actually, but this one I think is great because I can actually use the whole thing. Now is the fun part. We did all of the prep work. Okay, our craft desk is semi-clean, which makes it really nice. And this is the part where you can mix and match, and you can't go wrong with the colors. Okay, because the pattern paper is coordinated already for you with the florals and the laser cuts. Okay, we're going to make 2 styles of cards. We're going to make one like this that has a print on the bottom. It has the little band that goes across, and then it has the vellum circle. And then we're going to make one like this that has a full pattern paper on the front with the rectangle vellum on the top. Okay? Okay, let's start off by taking one of our A2 panels, which actually, it's very interesting that this looks like I crimped my paper or I bent my paper, but it's smooth. It's not folded. It's actually the print. It's amazing the print can do that. Anywho, I want to take one of my rectangle papers. This is, you can use a tape runner, and I'm going to actually use glue because glue is quicker. Ooh, that's a pretty side too. I'm going to add some glue. This side is so pretty. You could actually use this side, but I think my flowers will get drowned out with this pattern. But I'm going to add some glue behind here. We're going to work directly on our A2 panels. Okay, center this. Lovely. I'm going to grab another panel. We're going to grab another rectangle. We're going to layer this. Okay, let's grab another rectangle. Let's layer this. Looks like I'm going to need more glue. I need to get another bottle of glue. We're going to add this pattern paper here until we're going to repeat the process with just mixing and matching. So these are all done. Now with the remaining 6 panels, what we're going to do is take our borders. We're going to add it at the very bottom. Then we're going to take our strips and we're going to tuck it underneath there and layer it just like this. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to this one. And you can, again, mix and match them. Just layer it on the bottom. Before the glue dries, you can add before the glue dries, just add that strip right underneath. So now we have 6 of these. Okay, I do have 6 strips left over, so we can put that in our scrap pile. So we have these 2 sets are all done. Okay, now what we're going to do is take our vellum. I'm just going to add a little glue right down the middle and tack down our rectangle vellum right in the middle, and then our circle vellum. Add a little glue here. We are going to add to the middle of these cards here. Just tack it down. Just make sure it's stuck. If you want to use your tape runner, you could do that. And I'm not too worried about the glue showing because we're going to cover it with some flowers. Okay, so I'm going to do that to the rest of these, assembly line style. You can actually add glue to the center here. Let's add our vellum circles. So we have 6 circle panels, we have 6 rectangle panels. Now just to make things go a little bit quicker, what we're going to do is take some foam tape and I'm going to put it behind my greetings. Okay, and this way it will... Okay, we'll just add a little foam tape here. And if you have release paper from your foam squares, it comes in really handy. What I like to do is keep the release paper from my foam squares or from my magnets, and then this makes it so much quicker when you just go ahead and remove the release paper off of your sentiments and then tack them down here so they're ready to go. So our greetings are good to go. I was missing one. I had 11. So I brought in It's Your Day to Bloom. That was from the Subsentiments that say butterfly. The butterfly actually goes really good because we have butterflies in this set. Okay, so we have our greetings ready to go. Now all we have left is to add our florals. So what we're going to do is take one of our card bases, and all I do is slide it off. I add a background, add a little glue to my card base, add a background, and then I add some glue behind my images. And this is the fun part. You can get creative, add our florals, and then we can add our add a little dots of glue behind our flower buds. We can add these. This one we have several sets, so we'll just add both. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to add some glue. Then we can add our leaves. This is the one where we used all the single leaves. And you can just kind of arrange them however you want. And lastly, we're going to add our little butterfly. And then that's our first card. For our next card, we're going to switch over to a circle. Now remember, we have our vellum. We want to hide that. So I'm going to add some glue behind our ivy. Let's trail along that. Kind of covered our glue here, and then we'll add our floral. So pretty. We have a couple little extra leaves. You can tuck under here. And then we have a butterfly for this one. Let's add a butterfly right here. And that one's all done. And then we can tack that to the front of our card base. And that's all there is to that. Let's go ahead. We're going to switch back to our rectangle. Let's add our little vine. And then we add this to our card base. See how easy it comes together so quickly. Now I'm going to finish off the rest of these and play a little bit of music while I do, and I will be right back. Again, there's no right or wrong on your placement because the flowers actually do all the work for you. So, so pretty. Now we can add our greetings. The greetings, I'm just going to go down the line, starting off with thanks. Okay. That's all there is to that. It went by so quickly. Now all we have left to do is add a little bit of embellishing. Okay, and to do that, since we have a bold black, I thought we would bring in some Spellbinders Onyx gems, and we're just going to add a few gems to our background. I thought bold would be nice. Let me grab my tool here. I thought black would be nice to kind of just bring everything together, and it's kind of a vintage kind of a feel too. Just adding a few little black gems kind of pulls everything together, don't you think? I'm just going to continue, and we'll add a few here and there. And that's all we're doing. We finished 12 cards in no time, assembly line style, mass producing. I think this would make actually a really pretty gift set too. Okay, let's go over the cards that we made really quickly. Let's do it individually, but also if you guys want to see close-up pictures, I'll take individual pictures over on my blog. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so the camera doesn't shake, and I'll show you two at a time. How about that? These are two of the rectangle cards. Okay, then we have this one and this one. Same backgrounds, just different kind of pattern. Another rectangle card here and here. Okay, and now we're going to move along to our circle cards. We have the large butterfly. Aren't the laser cuts so pretty? I just love them. Okay, well, here's two more. So pretty. And then these are our last two. Just gorgeous. And of course, if you want to make birthday cards, switch out the greetings. If you want to add a little sparkle, I would actually honestly bring in some of my diamond stickles. I think I better zoom out. Let me show you here. Add a little diamond stickles to the butterflies, to the body, and also to the flower centers. Some of the flower centers you can add it to, and maybe even some of the flower buds or the berries, just to get it that little extra oomph. Let me show you. Kind of hard to see, but I would do that also. But I don't want to do that now because I still have to take pictures, and I will make a mess of the glitter before I even get a chance to photograph them for you. And speaking of photograph, again, if you want to visit my blog, I'll have individual pictures of all of these over on my blog. 12 assembly line mass producing cards that really didn't leave me much of a mess because we did all of the prep ahead of time, which is really great. And minimal products. We have the Echoes in Time laser cuts. We have the Echoes in Time pattern paper. And we have some Subsentiments from Wildflowers. We have Vellum. And we have Onyx Color Essential Gems. And then of course we crimped our paper, but that's it. Didn't take any time at all. Beautiful cards with minimal supplies, assembly line style, and mass production. 12 cards that are just stunners. Add a little glue and some foam tape. You're in business, and you can make some gorgeous cards. Thanks for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it. I have lots more fun projects to share with you. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope you enjoyed this project. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.